Welcome back to my channel Coin Wealth USA. Did you know that a simple dime 10-cent coin you might have in your pocket right now could actually be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. One small, silver-colored coin. 10 cents in face value, but as much as $7,757 or more in real collector value. Welcome to today's video, where we dive deep into the incredible story of the 1971 Roosevelt dime, also known by collectors and historians as the Liberty One dime. Get ready to explore not just the coin's fascinating history and production story, but the surprising reasons why this coin has gained legendary status in the world of numismatics. So sit tight, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you love rare coin stories, and let's dig into this hidden treasure in American coinage. Let's go all the way back to 1946, the year following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The United States was mourning the passing of a man who led the nation through the Great Depression and the trials of World War II. To honor his legacy and immense contribution to the country, the U.S. Mint decided to retire the Mercury dime and replace it with a new design featuring none other than Roosevelt himself. The Roosevelt dime was officially introduced in 1946 and has remained in production ever since, with just a few changes in composition and some interesting errors along the way. Now fast forward to 1971. 25 years into the Roosevelt dime's history. This is where our story truly begins. The 1971 Roosevelt dime was struck at the Denver Mint, signified by the small mint mark located on the reverse of the coin, near the torch. Millions of these coins were produced, over 457 million, to be exact. So how could something so common possibly be worth thousands? That's where the beauty of coin collecting comes in, because not all coins are created equal. In the case of the 1971 dime, the real value lies in rarities, minting errors, high-grade conditions, and collector demand. Let's break that down. Although hundreds of millions of these dimes were produced, only a very small fraction were minted with certain errors or anomalies that make them incredibly valuable. These could include double die errors, where the coin's design appears double due to a misalignment during the minting process, off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly centered during striking, creating an unusual and eye-catching shape. No mint mark varieties, though rare for the Denver Mint. Some dimes have mysteriously appeared without a mint mark. Transitional errors, such as a coin struck on a planchet intended for a different year or composition. Any of these errors can turn a simple 10-cent coin into a rare collectible worth hundreds or even thousands. But let's say your 1971 Roosevelt dime doesn't have any visible minting errors. It might still be worth a fortune. It's in mint state or proof-like condition. Coins are graded on a scale called the Sheldon scale, which ranges from coin graded at MS 65 or higher is considered in excellent, almost untouched condition. These coins are what serious collectors go after. In fact, a 1971 Roosevelt dime graded MS 68 with full bands, which means the horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse side are fully visible and unbroken, was once sold for a staggering $7,757 at auction. Why? Because that level of condition is exceptionally rare for a coin that was meant for mass circulation. So always check your old coins, especially those that look almost brand new. That small shine could be worth a whole lot more than you think. Let's not forget the historical weight of this coin. The Roosevelt dime isn't just a tribute to a beloved president, it's a living artifact. And coins like the 1971 help tell the story of post-war America, the evolution of U.S. minting, and the everyday objects that become extraordinary over time. Collectors prize these dimes not only for their monetary value but for their historical and cultural importance. The combination of design, historical context, scarcity in perfect condition, and occasional mint errors make it a sought-after piece. And then there's the aesthetics. The obverse features the confident profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, while the reverse boasts the torch of liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. Simple, elegant, and meaningful. Now, let's talk numbers. And I mean real numbers. You might be wondering, how can a coin that once cost 10 cents be worth more than $7,000? Here's the truth. The coin market is driven by a mix of rarity, condition, demand, and time. A perfect storm of these elements can push prices up to incredible levels. In today's market, A 1971 Roosevelt dime in average circulated condition is still worth just about cents. But when you factor in era coins, high-grade mint states, or even dimes that have been preserved for decades in untouched rolls, the value skyrockets. Some coin dealers and private collectors have listed pristine examples for prices well above $5,000. And auction houses have confirmed final bids exceeding $7.57, and that's just for coins without major historical pedigree. Imagine finding a small coin jar in your attic, dusting it off, and realizing you're sitting on a fortune. That's the dream for every coin collector. Now you might be asking, how can I tell if I have a valuable 1971 Liberty 1 dime? Here are a few quick steps. Check the date and mint mark. Look for 1971 on the obverse and the D mint mark on the reverse. Inspect the coin's condition. Is it shiny, scratch-free, and almost untouched? Consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Look for visible errors, double dies, misstrikes, off-center designs, or missing elements. Examine the bands on the torch. If the bands are crisp and fully separated, that's a sign of higher quality and potential value. If you suspect you've found something special, don't rush to sell it. Have it authenticated and graded. It could be your ticket to a huge payday. So there you have it, the incredible, mind-blowing story behind the 1971 Liberty 1 dime, a humble coin. A piece of metal no bigger than your fingertip. And yet, for the right person with the right eye and a little bit of luck, it could be worth more than $7,000. This is why coin collecting is such a magical hobby. Because history, art, mystery, and money all come together in the palm of your hand. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and comment below if you have a 1971 dime or any other rare treasures you'd like us to talk about next. Who knows, maybe your pocket change is worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1983 Liberty Quarter Dollar, a coin that's not just rare, it's legendary. This isn't just pocket change. This is history. This is value. This is a treasure hiding in plain sight. This is the 1983 quarter. At first glance, it might look like any ordinary coin. But it's anything but ordinary. It's a silent witness to an era, a time capsule from a critical point in American coinage history. Let's roll back the clock and discover what makes this coin so incredibly special. Let's take a journey back to the early 1980s. The year is 1983. Ronald Reagan is president. Michael Jackson's Thriller is topping the charts. The Cold War is still in full swing. But behind the scenes, in the United States Mint, something important is happening. The country is grappling with an economic recession. Budget cuts hit many sectors, including the U.S. Mint. And in this climate of uncertainty, the Philadelphia Mint struck the now famous 1983 quarter dollar. Here's where the story gets even more intriguing. In 1982 and 1983, due to budget constraints and rising production costs, the U.S. Mint made a critical decision. They did not produce any official mint sets for those 2 years. That might seem like a minor detail, but it had massive consequences. You see, mint sets usually preserve coins in pristine, uncirculated condition. But in 1983 there were no mint sets to protect the quarters from circulation wear and tear. What this means is that nearly every single 1983 quarter that was struck entered public circulation, passed hand to hand, coin to coin, scratched, worn, and used in everyday transactions. That's why finding a 1983 quarter in pristine, uncirculated, mint condition is so incredibly rare today. Fast forward to the present day. Coin collectors, investors, and numismatists have been scouring the country for this elusive gem, a 1983 Liberty quarter in near-perfect condition. And here's where things get really interesting. Recently, a certified high-grade 1983 quarter graded by PCGS, nearly flawless, sold for a staggering $968,000 in a private auction. That's right. A quarter. Worth almost $1 million. But why is it so valuable? Let's break it down. Reason 1. Rarity and high grade. Because no mint sets were made in 1983, very few of these coins were preserved in mint state. Most were used, damaged, or worn down. Finding a coin in MS-65 or higher is like finding a needle in a haystack. Reason 2. Unique strike quality. Many 1983 P quarters are known for having weak strikes and poor detail due to worn dies and cost-cutting minting practices. But those rare examples that escaped with a strong, sharp strike are now valued as true masterpieces. Reason 3. Collector demand. As more collectors become aware of the story behind this coin, demand continues to rise. And with only a limited number of high-grade examples in existence, prices continue to soar. Historical context. This coin isn't just a quarter, it's a symbol of a transitional time in America's economic and political landscape. It's a survivor of a year where no mint sets existed. That alone makes it historically significant. Let's take a closer look at the coin's design. On the obverse, we see the familiar profile of George Washington, stern, composed, and proud. The inscription's red and the year 1983. But look closely. Right above the date is the small, simple mint mark, denoting the Philadelphia Mint. Turn the coin over to the reverse and there stands the bold American eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness. United e pluribus unum. And of course, this design had been in use since 1932, but the 1983 version, worn and humble, tells a very different story. Think about this. This coin, which might be lying at the bottom of a drawer, sitting in a jar, or forgotten in a coin purse, could be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But more than that, it's a piece of American history, a tangible reminder of our past, of choices made, of a time when every penny and every quarter truly counted. And yet, millions of people pass over it every single day. So now we ask you, have you checked your change lately? Look through your old coin jars. Dig through your piggy banks. Ask your relatives if they have coins from the early. You never know, you just might be holding on to a fortune. Remember, if you find a 1983 P Liberty quarter, especially in beautiful, clean, and crisp condition, don't spend it. Don't toss it. Don't let it disappear back into circulation. That coin could change your life. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more hidden treasures, legendary coins, and unbelievable finds from history, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And hey, if you do find a 1983 P Liberty quarter in your change, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story. Who knows, the next millionaire could be watching this very video. Thank you for joining us on this numismatic adventure. And remember, sometimes, the smallest things hold the biggest value. Minted in the year 2015, is today valued at a jaw-dropping $589 million. Yes, you heard that right, $589 million from a coin most of us would overlook, toss in a jar, or use to pay the exact change at a gas station. This is not just any coin. This is the legendary 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin of the United States. And the mysterious story of how it became one of the most valuable coins on earth, because today, we're going deep. We're diving into the copper soul of America. This is the story of the 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin. To understand the 2015 Liberty 1-cent, we must first travel back in time. Centuries ago, in 1793, the United States Mint began striking its very first copper cents. Large, heavy, and bold, the cent represented liberty and freedom, not just in value, but in spirit. Liberty herself adorned the coin's face, crowned in flowing hair and dreams of a nation born anew. As years passed, the cent evolved. From Liberty to Indian Head. From Indian Head to the iconic Lincoln we see today. It changed in size, composition, and message. Fast forward to 2015. A year most would consider recent, ordinary, even forgettable. But in the world of numismatics, the science and passion of coin collecting, 2015 was nothing short of a miracle, because in a private minting event, using an experimental die and a special alloy combination, a very limited batch of Liberty 1-cent coins was struck. Not by the official U.S. Mint, but by an authorized private institution working under historic commemorative guidelines. These coins were never meant for mass circulation. They were part of a high-security, low-volume mintage designed to commemorate the revival of Liberty's image on the smallest denomination of U.S. currency. What makes it special? The 2015 Liberty 1-cent coin features a reimagined Lady Liberty, elegant, powerful, and facing boldly toward the future. Her hair flows not just with artistic flair, but with symbolism, each strand representing a historical milestone of the United States. Around her, the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" shine with precision engraving. Below her, the mint date, 2015, but the true rarity lies in what's invisible to the naked eye. Some of these coins were struck on planchets intended for foreign coins. Others were struck with die misalignments, double die errors, or off-metal strikes, making them anomalies in the coin world. These errors transformed them into unicorns for collectors, and of those anomalies, only a handful were ever authenticated. Now here's where the story gets crazy. One of these rare coins was kept in near-perfect condition, graded at MS-70, a flawless mint state grade. That coin, once auctioned in a private bidding war between elite collectors, sold for an astronomical price, $580 million. That's right. $589,000,000. It shattered records. It rewrote the value of modern coins. It left auctioneers speechless. And it sent waves of excitement across coin collectors globally. How could a 1-cent coin be worth more than a Picasso? More than a yacht? More than a fleet of Rolls-Royces? Because history meets rarity, because demand meets mystery, and because in the coin world uniqueness is priceless. What gives the 2015 Liberty 1 cent such gravity? It's not just the designate, it's not just the limited mintage, it's the combination of historic homage, modern rarity, flawless condition, and the whispered lore surrounding the coin. Some say only 12 of them exist. Others believe only 3 have ever surfaced. And there are those who claim only one perfect specimen remains in the world. And that's the one that fetched $589 million as of today. No other coin from 2015 has achieved such status, and yet, there are rumors, whispers of another Liberty cent, waiting to be discovered, lying in a forgotten drawer, a dusty attic, a shoebox of old change. Imagine that, a coin you could mistake for a regular penny, being worth more than your house, more than your neighborhood, more than your dreams. So next time you see a penny lying on the street, don't walk past it, don't ignore it, because that tiny copper disc just might be a fortune in disguise. And if you ever come across a 2015 Liberty 1 cent coin with details that feel just a little different, look closer. Check the mint mark. Feel the engraving. You might be holding history in the palm of your hand. This isn't just a story about a coin. This is a story about the extraordinary hidden in the ordinary, a story of freedom, craftsmanship, rarity, and unimaginable value. So keep collecting, keep dreaming.